You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. I only chat about items that affect the roof of your house, the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. There's a lot of items to celebrate here. Some of them are a little odd. National Static Electricity Day. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Clean off your desk day. If an empty mind signifies an empty head, what is an empty? What is it? If an empty mind, I don't even remember that. It was an Abraham Lincoln quote. If an empty mind signifies an empty head, what does an empty desk signify? Something like that. I goofed it all up. Oh well. Let's see what else. Balloon Ascension Day. I guess that's for celebrating helium. National Apricot Day. Is it apricot or apricot? I don't know which it is. App or ape? I don't know. So you make the call. And the one I like the most is today is National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Love that one. So I think we'll stick with that one, just because I can. Okay, so we're gonna go with that one. But there are things that come up in this world, and I found. But I don't know if you're a sports fan or not. I'm a sports junkie. So right now, if you're listening to us live, recording this 9:00 in the morning, roughly 9:00 in the morning Pacific time. Feel free to jump in and pipe in with any comments you have. StreamYard.com/Facebook allows us to see who you are and what comments you have. If you're listening to us on the ABC broadcast in the afternoon, I'll be watching the national championship game. I don't know if you're watching that one, but who you picking? Is it Georgia or TCU? In a game like this, I would go with TCU and all those points that they're giving away on it if I was a betting person, and I used to be. But watching football yesterday, what has been the biggest story in sports for the last week? I think it's unquestionably Mr. Hamlin's injuries, right? I don't think there's any question that it was everybody in the world got behind Damar Hamlin. Do you know what Damar Hamlin's number is? Okay, everybody should know that because it's been, if you do any kind of sports at all, he's number 3. So a lot of teams yesterday in the NFL and the day before went out, and the teams were all wearing supportive jerseys and shirts, all supporting Mr. Hamlin and his number 3. Now, fast forward to the Buffalo Bills game yesterday. The Buffalo Bills played the New England Patriots. And if you watch that game, the very opening kickoff was run back for a touchdown. Now, here's where the divine intervention might come in. I don't know if you've heard this. Josh, I don't know if you heard this one yet. So it has been 3 years and 3 months since the Buffalo Bills have run back a kickoff for a touchdown. Now, think about that one. Hamlin wears number 3, and it's 3 years, 3 months since they did that, and they take the opening kickoff for a touchdown. I don't know if that's a divine intervention or what. It just seems I'm not a big believer in coincidence. Let's put it that way. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. Useless information, but I found it fascinating, so I wanted to share it with you. Okay. I'll move right along. Let's see what the markets are doing. The Dow Jones Industrial Average right now is up 236 points. The S&P is up 49. NASDAQ is up 222 points. Oil is up $1.40 a barrel. Anybody wonder why oil has come down so much from where it was over $100 to now down at $75 a barrel? Well, on day one, Joe Biden decided, number one, he wanted more illegal immigration. So he got rid of all the Trump policies for that. And on day one, Joe Biden decided he wanted to go to war. Well, not that kind of war, but Joe Biden always, Joe's a war guy. So he wanted to go to war with the oil industry. So he put on all kinds of regulation, which basically gave the oil industry the idea of, why do we want to get involved in this? Why not to just stop producing oil? Well, quietly behind the scenes, they've taken off a lot of those regulations. And, we've started seeing more production of oil. Now, we haven't seen more natural gas because they didn't do anything with those. And that's why I got some messages over the weekend from folks. Did you see your latest gas bill? Right? We're not used to that kind of cold that we had in December here in Southern California. Other parts of the country, they're used to cold weather. We're not used to that here. So we got a lot of cold, and now people are saying, oh, look at our gas bill. It's way up. Say thanks, Uncle Joe. Speaking of Uncle Joe, he decided finally, the first time in his life, he went to the southern border. I think it's the first time in his life. He's been in public life for, at least 100, 150 years, something like that. So he went to El Paso. But what did they do before he got there? Because it is just a photo op. He doesn't want to solve any problems. All he has to do is go back to the Trump world to solve the problems. So he did go to the border, and before he got there, they cleaned out all of the immigrants from the area that he was going to do his photo op at. Does that surprise anybody? Surprise. Not really. Okay, let's see gasoline. Should we take a look? I had to fill a couple of both of my cars yesterday. California, $4.43 a gallon. And they're all excited because gas prices are down year over year. Well, how about since you took office, Mr. President? I just throw that out there. Nevada, you're at $3.97. Josh, still staying a little below that $4 mark. Jody's at $3.43. I have to go to Nevada or to Arizona to fill up with Jody. Colorado, $3.08, and I'm sure that means that Lori's going to be down under $3 at $2.94 a gallon of gasoline right there in Louisiana, where our tremendous underwriter Lori is stationed. So there's the round table of gasoline, some useless trivia. And again, tell us who you think is going to win the national championship game. And thanks to all of our law enforcement officers. We do appreciate you. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got a lot of giveaways we will be giving out today. We're going to talk about what experts are saying about the 2023 housing market. Fresh Start program effects on FICO scores. We'll talk about that. And can you buy a house while you're in collections? We'll talk about that as well. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
79% of all credit reports have errors that should be corrected through factual disputing. You could be saving thousands every year if your report was accurate. CreditSanitizer.com provides a free credit report audit when you furnish a specific $1 credit report. You can use this information to request corrections to your report and potentially save thousands of dollars. Get your free credit audit at CreditSanitizer.com. That's CreditSanitizer.com for a free credit report audit. CreditSanitizer.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs, the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The S&P 500 now up 49 points. We like seeing that. Where will it end? We don't know. But up 49 right now for the S&P 500. We're looking at the 10-year Treasury. Right now, that one is down 5 basis points, 3.521. Mortgage-backed securities, those are up 28 basis points, which means interest rates are down ever so slightly. And every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. 30-year conforming loans down nicely on Friday, 6.366. Jumbos down nicely, 6.426. 30-year FHA down 6.331. USDA, for those in the rural areas, down 6.344. And the best loan on the market. And actually, it was, almost. It was just that, and Jumbos were down about the same amount. Pretty nice. The VA loans, 30-year, 6.058. Again, that's all according to OBMMI, and the rates are even better today. Why? Because all that information, you can find that right there on the super secret website, google.com. Well, after a little later in the markets on Friday, the ISM, that's a service sector, the services index joined its manufacturing brethren in printing below 50. The index fell to 49.6 from 56.5 in November, not including COVID. This is the first time we've seen that below 50 figures since December 2009. New orders dropped sharply to 45.2. Employment fell into contraction, and supplier deliveries eased again. Prices paid fell over 2 points. Here's a point from the ISM that explains the current situations. Orders from customers are softening, and some orders are being canceled. We've lost employees due to normal attrition and are having issues backfilling positions. The supply chain is catching up to demand, and suppliers are trying to lower inventory for calendar year end and are still working through excess supply, unquote. Bottom line, the U.S. economy continues to weaken, and that's now spreading into services. More anecdotes and more understanding of the jobs report that came out in December. And a lot of people looked at that jobs report and said, wow, we're creating lots of jobs. Well, that was just a part of it. So Friday's jobs report showed a slowdown in wage growth and therefore wage-pressured inflation, which the markets celebrated. It did, however, show that there were 223,000 jobs created. But when sifting through the details of the report, the data is weaker than it first appears. We already talked about how all the job gains were part-time, of which 190,000 were because of weak economic conditions, and those that took on an extra job to make ends meet jumped 370,000. We also mentioned that the hours worked dropped to 34.3, which is the fourth straight month where we saw a decline. But if you were to attribute the drop in hours to actual jobs, now think about this. Basically what you do is you look at it and you say, okay, if everybody in America, on average, the jobs dropped a tenth of an hour. Well, when you look at how many people are out there working, that equates to 373,000 jobs lost just by a tenth of an hour going across everybody. So instead of seeing a 223,000 job gain, we would have seen 150,000 job loss. Overall, the report was weaker than at first glance, and the lower wage pressure is exactly what the Fed wants to see. Hence, we saw the rally on Friday and follow through today. So we're going to get some numbers the rest of this week. We've got Jerome Powell speaks tomorrow. The 10 and 30-year auctions are this week. the Consumer Price Index inflation report on Thursday, and we'll have all that information. We'll cover and carry all of that reporting for you. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make a call. 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. Hey, let's take a look at a Mortgage 101 workshop for you. Mortgage 101. Can you buy a home if you've had collections? Getting a home loan does not require you to have absolutely perfect credit. You may be able to have had collections in your past and still get approved for a mortgage. It all depends on the type of debt you have, how much there is, and the type of lender and loan you're attempting to get. Don't forget, maximize your credit score. All you have to do is go to rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. It's a session we did on the program some time ago, and I actually walk you through a strategy to increase your FICO score, and very few people know how to do this the right way, especially those that pay off their credit cards in full every month. rsrccpayment.com. So let's begin by talking about how collections will affect your ability to get a mortgage. Mortgage lenders depend heavily on your debt-to-income ratio. One of these ratios deals with your potential housing cost and your gross income each month. Your debt-to-income ratio lets the lenders understand how much you can afford, considering the amounts you need to pay to resolve your collection accounts. The other deals with your total debts and total payments each month. These monthly debt payments include student loan payments, car loans, childcare, child support, and the added mortgage you're attempting to get. The magic number for most lenders is a debt-to-income ratio, or DTI, below 43. Now, in some situations, we can go up to 49.9, but the magic number is really 43. Let's talk about derogatory or late credit and how it can affect your ability to qualify. When determining approval for a mortgage, lenders may cap the amount of derogatory credit that you can have in order to qualify for the loan. This includes items like collections, charge-offs, judgments, and liens. Collections and charge-offs are not usually figured into your debt-to-income ratio unless you're currently making payments on those accounts. Tax liens and judgments are two items that must be satisfied before you can be approved to close on your home loan. Those with tax liens may be able to close if there is a repayment plan set up with 12 months of on-time payments. Let's talk about what to do with collection accounts. We'll begin with new collections. What to do with new collections. Before you do anything with any collection accounts, you should always check with your lender. If you're going to pay off any new collection accounts, you want to be sure to get a detailed payment arrangement in writing before paying. The arrangement should detail the total amount you'll be paying, the number of payments you'll have to make, when the payments are due, are collection fees or interest added, and what will happen at the end of your payment term. How about old collections? Well, the first thing you need to do when you see old collections on your credit report is to make sure that you owe the account. And we just did a show or a segment of our show recently on that one. If not, you need to send requests to all credit reporting agencies asking them to delete the account. If you have determined that the information on your credit report is correct, it's time to figure out what you'll do with the debt. Paying off old collections could do more damage to your credit score. While it's great to get your credit report cleared out, paying off old collection accounts will bring the report current, and this can drop your credit score and affect your ability to get a mortgage with collections. The only way paying the account will help is for the collector to remove the collection from your credit history, called, quote unquote, pay for delete. And understand that all lenders allow a certain amount that may be in collections for a borrower. It may be better to just keep your current accounts current with balances below 30% of their maximum. Now, you got to check your local statute of limitations also. Collections that are 12 months or older do not affect your credit score. Check with your state to check the statute of limitations on debt collection. Usually this is 3 to 6 years. Do not reactivate the account. Having collections on your account, having collections on your credit score can do great damage. But the effect that collections have on your credit score diminishes over time. When you start paying off these old debts, you bring the account to the forefront again. If you have student loan collections, you'll want to check with your lender to see if you can qualify for a mortgage. Defaulting on a student loan can put a hold on your dream of homeownership. Federal student loan debt is not dischargeable and does not have a statute of limitations. FHA mortgage loans will certainly not be approved for anyone with defaulted student loans. If you have defaulted, there are options to get back on track. These include loan rehabilitation, loan consolidation, and repayment in full. How about medical collections? With medical accounts, credit bureaus must remove paid accounts from your credit report within 45 days. Negotiate with these collection agencies in writing and wait for a signed agreement before paying the account. Getting a mortgage with collections on your credit report, underwriters may not require that all old collections be paid off, but they will most likely require a letter explaining why the accounts are in collections. And some even though Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae might have specific guidelines, got to make sure that you understand what the lender's overlays might be. So you might walk into a big bank and they might say, well, you don't qualify because you've got collections. And the fact of the matter is they should have been saying, you don't qualify with us because there might be other options. Give us a call at 800-306-1990. Maybe we have another option for you. Can I buy a house with collections? Knowing where you stand and getting a handle on your credit report early is important. Get a full picture of your credit and create a strategy to make improvements. But know that while challenging, it is possible to be approved for a mortgage with collections on your credit report and buy a house. The most important thing to do is to know what is on your credit report and create a plan. Be sure to get your questions answered by a licensed mortgage professional. Give us a call at 800-306-1990. If you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or borrow on real estate, count on us. Can we count on you to make that introduction? And I'm going to also share with you, when you're dealing with these collections, why would you not go to creditsanitizer.com, and register on the site, creditsanitizer.com. It's free. Once you've registered on the site, we're going to send you a link where you can get a $1 actual FICO credit report. $1 credit report. You'll send us your credentials back. And again, we'll do a free, limited time only. I don't know how long this is going to last, but we'll do a free credit report audit for a limited time. Now, those generally cost $197. But again, we're going to do it for you for free for a limited amount of time because you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, what experts are saying about the 2023 housing market, Fresh Start program effects on FICO scores, and we'll see what else we can get into. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your budget getting blown up with high prices of gas and increased costs for other household needs? This is Ron Siegel, host of the daily Home and Finance radio program. Did you know if you have a low interest rate mortgage along with auto debt, credit card debt, or student loans, your family could potentially save $500 or more per month by restructuring these debts? If you'd like a free Borrow Smart analysis with our team, let's book an appointment to see how we might be able to relieve some stress. Schedule an appointment at rsrbsa.com. That's rsrbsa.com for your free Borrow Smart analysis. rsrbsa.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime. At 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. What are experts saying about the 2023 housing market? That is our subject today. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home soon, you probably want to know what you can expect from the housing market this year. And you probably want to make sure that you get a copy of our newly released Home Buyer's Guide and Home Seller's Guide. The Home Buyer's Guide, rsrhbg.com. The Home Seller's Guide, rsrhsg.com. rsrhbg.com. rsrhsg.com. In 2022, the market underwent a major shift as economic uncertainty and higher mortgage rates reduced buying power or buyer demand, slowed the pace of home sales, and moderated home prices. But what about 2023? An article from Housing Wire offers this perspective, quote, "The red-hot housing market of the past 2.5 years was characterized by sub-3% mortgage rates, fast-paced bidding wars, and record low inventory. But more recently, market conditions have done an about-face. Now is the opportunity for everyone to become re-educated about what a typical housing market looks like. This year, experts agree we may see the return of greater stability and predictability in the housing market if inflation continues to ease and mortgage rates stabilize." Here's what they have to say. The 2023 forecast from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, says, quote, "While 2022 may be remembered as a year of housing volatility, 2023 likely will become a year of long-lost normalcy returning to the market. Mortgage rates are expected to stabilize while home sales and prices moderate after recent highs," unquote. Danielle Hale, chief economist at Realtor.com, adds, quote, "Buyers will not face the extreme competition that was commonplace over the past few years," unquote. Lawrence Yoon, chief economist at NAR, explains home prices will vary by local area, but will net neutral nationwide as the market continues to adjust. Quote, "After a big boom over the past 2 years, there will essentially be no change nationally. Half of the country may experience small price gains, while the other half may see slight price declines," unquote. Mark Fleming, chief economist of First American, says, quote, "The housing market, once adjusted to the new normal of higher mortgage rates, will benefit from continued strong demographic-driven demand relative to an overall long-run shortage of supply," unquote. Bottom line, if you're looking to buy, sell, or borrow on real estate, can we count on you to call us to set up a game plan for your family or your friends' families, family, or coworkers, any of them? You got to talk to a trusted advisor to understand these things, understand where the market's going. And obviously, we give away a lot of free stuff. So get a hold of the buyer's guide or the seller's guide. Again, rsrhsg.com is the seller's guide, rsrhsg.com. Or you can get the buyer's guide, rsrhbg.com. rsrhbg gets you the buyer's guide. So we've got both of those. We update those every single quarter and we give them away for free. What more can you ask for? It's really the latest and greatest of information on the marketplace. And if you are a first-time buyer, rsrfthbworkshop.com. rsrfthbworkshop.com. That's another one of the tools that we give away. Again, we give all these things for free. I think that was, I don't know, Josh, was that about an hour workshop I think we did on that? Something like that. So we went through a lot of data right there to help you if you're a first-time home buyer. rsrfthbworkshop.com. I think does it have a workshop in there, Josh, or is it just FTHB? We'll have to double check that and see if I've got it wrong on my notes here. But the bottom line is we're giving you these things so you're educated. How do you make an educated decision if you're not educated? That's kind of what we want to take a look at and just give you the bottom line of how we can help you out. So, and like I said, we've been doing this since 2010. Hard to believe. 2010, we did our first radio broadcasts, and it's not done as a profit center. We would like it to be, but it's not done as a profit center. What we really do it for is an education center. Now, the way you can say thank you, if you want to, is get a hold of our team and work with us. Let us show you exactly how we help folks And one of the things that I'm going to talk about a lot, in fact, I was just getting ready to commission a new commercial that we're going to do. And basically the question is, what's more risky, home equity or cryptocurrency? That's a question I'm going to be throwing out there. What is what is a riskier investment, home equity or cryptocurrency? And I know that there's a lot of places they want you to have home equity because you don't lose your money generally. But if you need your money, you can't get your money generally. Those that want, see, as a lender, lenders almost always lend money to people that want money. They don't lend money. We don't lend money to people who need money. So the question becomes, do you make these safety preparations when you have that opportunity, or do you wait until you're in crisis mode? And so many people wait for crisis mode. And that's why we came out with our two-step program, rsr2step.com, rsr2step.com. Why did we come out with that and do that as a radio broadcast recently? Well, it's pretty simple, because I understand that home equity it's paper money, not like the green stuff that you may have in your pocket. It's like cryptocurrency. You can't touch it. So how do you access it? Well, under the two-step program, rsr2step.com, rsr2step.com, you're actually I should walk you through a process, and there's all kinds of links on there as well that'll show you exactly how to get access to that money. Now, I have people all the time, and I just went over this last week with somebody who has a 3% mortgage, and they said, you know something, I'll never touch that mortgage. And I said, isn't that special? So you're going to cost your family $647 a month because you like to say that you've got a 3% mortgage. Whoopee. I need a sound effect for that because I can't do that one very well. Right? Whoopee. Who cares what your mortgage rate is? Tell me if you can go, and I don't know where you like to go shopping. Vaughn's or Ralph's or Stater Brothers, whatever your favorite is. Canned foods. Are there any other grocery stores out there anymore? But Amazon, go to Amazon and tell them you got a 3% mortgage or you've got $647. My bet is they're not going to really care about your $647 in Amazon. I mean, your 3%. They'll care if you've got $647 to spend. So if you go to rsr2step.com, rsr2step.com, that'll actually show you how you can deal with some of these things and get your household debt service down. So again, that's rsr2step.com. And for those of you that are watching us on radio, not on radio, but on the AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing that Josh has that right there on the screen. So you can just go to that link, tell us where to send the video, and we'll send you a copy of that video or a link to that video right through there. rsr2step.com, rsr2step.com. Let's take a look at it. I think we've got I wonder if I have time for this Your Credit Matters segment. How long is this? I don't know. Yeah. Can we get it in, Josh? I don't know if we can get this in or not. Yeah, we can do it. Okay, Josh says I can do it. Your Credit Matters brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report and it is wrong. Fresh Start program effects on FICO scores. Fresh Start is designed to provide payment aid programs for federal education loans. If you're one of thousands of borrowers who have challenges with repayment of your federal student loans on time, a recently announced Fresh Start program by the U.S. Department of Education may be of interest. The program is designed to provide certain borrowers in default on their federal student loans with a clean slate as payment relief programs for federal education loans offered during the COVID pandemic are coming to an end. Based on our current understanding, under Fresh Start, borrowers whose federal student loans were in default prior to the pandemic were reported as current status in December 2022. For those who agree to a repayment plan, defaults of federal student loans and the delinquencies leading up to such defaults will be removed from consumers' Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian credit reports. Eligible borrowers include those whose loans were eligible for payment pause and interest waiver, including loans in the direct loan program, federal family education loans, the FFEL loans made under the Ensuring Continued Access to Student Loans Act in 2008-2009, and the 2009-2010 and defaulted FFEL loans held by a guarantee agency on behalf of the federal government. What impact will Fresh Start have on FICO scores? The impact to a FICO score will depend on a variety of factors, including the borrower's overall credit profiles, as well as how the borrower subsequently performs on the student loans included in Fresh Start. Based on our current understanding of how the U.S. Department of Education intends for these accounts to be reported to the CRAs, we believe that many borrowers who enroll in Fresh Start are likely to experience score increases over time, resulting from the past delinquency and default information being removed from their credit files. Those consumers with little to no delinquency information in their credit file, aside from the student loans in question, likely to stand to gain the most from enrolling in the Fresh Start program. This may help these borrowers qualify for new credit and reduce the interest rates they pay on other debts such as credit cards, auto loans, and mortgages. The U.S. Department of Education is still working on finalizing all the details. Enrollment into the Fresh Start program is free. After being enrolled, you may want to get a free copy of your credit reports from annualcreditreport.com to confirm that the delinquencies and defaults have been removed from your credit history. To get more information, visit the studentaid.gov website, studentaid.gov. Contact your student loan servicer or call the U.S. Department of Education's toll-free hotline at 800 for Fed Aid. 800 for Fed Aid. The U.S. Department of Education will not notify eligible borrowers directly, so make sure to get that information, studentaid.gov. And don't forget, at the same time, you can get go to creditsanitizer.com, creditsanitizer.com, and get a copy of your credit report, or get a free. I'm sorry, creditsanitizer.com is going to get you the free credit audit, but you will have to go and get a $1 credit report in order to access for us to get that credit audit put together for you. So that's just a Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, wondering how much you need to save on a down payment? We'll talk about that. And I don't know, maybe applying for a mortgage. We'll see if we can get that one in as well. So we'll get both of those and see where else we can go. You can reach me anytime or off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
79% of all credit reports have errors that should be corrected through factual disputing. You could be saving thousands every year if your report was accurate. CreditSanitizer.com provides a free credit report audit when you furnish a specific $1 credit report. You can use this information to request corrections to your report and potentially save thousands of dollars. Get your free credit audit at CreditSanitizer.com. That's CreditSanitizer.com for a free credit report audit. CreditSanitizer.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report and it is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has these solutions for you. How to recover from holiday spending. That's always a good one because so many of us go on those holiday spending splurges, whatever it is for me. It's Monday morning. It's hard to talk today. Holiday represents a busy time of year when it's easy to spend more than you planned. Even if you made a budget ahead of time, a recent survey by TD Bank reveals that 69% of consumers admit they have struggled with overspending during the past holiday season. Yet spending more money than you can afford can be dangerous. Overspending has the potential to lead to a variety of financial and credit problems. For example, if you run up high credit card balances that you cannot afford to pay off when the bill comes due, you could wind up paying high interest charges as a result. Your FICO score might suffer as well due to an increase in your credit utilization ratio. That would only be the case if you, or could be minimized. I shouldn't say only, could be minimized if you go to rsrccpayment.com. Do it right now, rsrccpayment.com. Pay your credit card bills correctly. And again, I tell everybody, 95% of the people I see pay their credit card bills incorrectly. The fact of it is, until I've told people about this, I think there's only been maybe one or two people that actually knew about doing this. rsrccpayment.com. And yes, I'm talking to you. If you tell me, well, Ron, I pay my credit card bill off in full every month. You're included. Even those that pay their bills off in full every month, I've still seen most of the time they're paying them off incorrectly for FICO maximization. rsrccpayment.com. But I digress. If you find yourself in a position after the holidays with more debt than you can afford to pay off right away, it's important to take action. You can recover from holiday overspending, but you will need to create a plan that works for your financial situation. Number one, stop overspending. Once you start overspending, it can be difficult to stop, but it's essential to break this bad habit so you don't continue to fall deeper into debt. If you're having trouble avoiding temptation, consider using a personal finance app or spreadsheet to track your spending. You could also try paying your credit card bills multiple times each month to stay more informed and in control of your money. There is a personal finance app on the site rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Number two, step two, consider returning purchases. Many retailers offered extended return policies during the holidays. If you purchased an item and are now experiencing buyer's remorse, there's a chance you might still be able to return it and receive a refund. Although this solution might not solve all your overspending problems, it could potentially help you make a dent in the extra debt you accumulated, especially if you can make a few returns or return a big ticket purchase. Step three, assess the situation. The next step to recovering from holiday overspending is to take an honest look at your financial situation. Make a list of the new debts you created during the holidays that you need to pay down. You may also want to list other debts you owe, especially high interest credit card debt that might be hurting both your finances and your FICO score. Number four, step four, create space in your budget. Once you have a list of your debts, it's time to update your budget. This process will involve writing down your income along with current expenses, both recurring and variable. As you write out your expenses and spending goals, look for ways to reduce spending, since doing so can free up extra funds to apply toward eliminating debt. You can also consider looking for ways to increase your income, like a side hustle, and apply any extra funds you earn toward reducing your new holiday debt. Step five, choose a debt payoff strategy. If you can make room in your budget for extra debt elimination funds, adding in a debt payoff strategy has the potential to speed up your efforts. Two of the most popular debt payoff strategies are the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. The debt snowball is a payoff strategy where you list your debts from the smallest to the highest balances. You make minimum payment on every debt to avoid late payments, and I show you how to do that on rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. So to avoid late payments and the issues they cause, but you pay as much as you can each month toward the debt with the smallest balance. After paying off the smallest debt, you repeat the process with a debt that has the next smallest balance on your list. Rinse and repeat the process until you eventually eliminate all your debts. The debt avalanche is a payoff strategy where you list your debts from the highest to the lowest interest rate. Again, you make minimum payments toward each debt every month, but you pay the debts with the highest interest rate first and as aggressively as possible. Once you eliminate the debt with the highest interest rate, move down the list to the debt with the next highest interest rate and rinse and repeat the process until you eliminate all your debts. Both strategies have benefits when it comes to paying down debt, but if you're trying to figure out which debts to pay off first, it's all about your goals. This debt snowball strategy, for example, has potential to benefit your FICO scores if you're able to lower your credit utilization ratios faster on credit card accounts. Meanwhile, the debt avalanche approach might save you more money in interest charges, at least initially. Step 6, consider consolidation. It may take time to chip away at your holiday debt, even with debt strategy payoff strategies in place. In the meantime, you might face high interest rates on credit cards if you revolve outstanding balances from month to month. If you have good FICO scores, you might want to consider whether consolidating your high interest debt into a new account makes sense. Balance transfer credit cards and lower interest personal loans have the potential to help you save money on interest charges as you work to pay off large amounts of debt. You can use MyFICO's free online calculators to see whether a credit card balance transfer or debt consolidation loan is a good fit for you. And again, creditsanitizer.com. Go there, get registered. We'll send you a link for a $1 credit report. We need a specific report. Costs you $1. Then we'll do a free credit audit. That's $197 value. We're doing them for a limited amount of time, limited number of people for free. Doesn't cost you anything. So why wouldn't you be doing it right now? Get on a strategy to help save you and your family a boatload of money. That's our idea there. We want to just save you some money. So let's take a look at applying for a mortgage. Where is that one? There it is. There's my report. Got to get my report. I think it's a short one, Josh. I think we can get this one in. That's a real-time real estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Okay, Josh, I won't do it. I'll bail out so you don't. Even though it is a short one, we'll have to save it for another day because I just got the get out of town notice from Josh. So let's see if I can give some things away instead of doing that. So we gave you the rsrccpayment.com. How about credit tips? rsrcredittips.com. rsrcredittips.com. We've got that one available for you. Gives you some tips on increasing your credit score. And rsrcreditmistakes.com. rsrcreditmistakes, plural. rsrcreditmistakes.com. Either one of those or both of those tools to help you out. And also to help you out, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.